SoundCloud for Artists. Let's get into it. SoundCloud for Artists is a rebranding of Repost by SoundCloud, which was a music distribution platform that SoundCloud offered. And as of right now, SoundCloud for Artists is identical to Repost by SoundCloud. It's the same thing, just with a rebranding, refreshed look, and theme. So back in 2019, SoundCloud acquired Repost Network, which is a music rights management and distribution company, for $15 million. Then in 2020, SoundCloud launched their own distribution platform, and they called it Repost by SoundCloud. So they kind of combined their acquisition of Repost Network, and then they tied it into SoundCloud. So why did they decide to rebrand and call it SoundCloud for Artists now? One reason could be due to Repost Network and Repost by SoundCloud's overwhelmingly negative reputation. So imposters were using Repost by SoundCloud's YouTube Content ID feature to claim songs on YouTube that weren't actually theirs. And this actually happened to big YouTubers like PewDiePie, and he made a video about this. The track would say, claimed by Repost Network. And this would happen because if an artist deliberately chose to not enable YouTube Content ID on their track, then anyone else could upload that song and claim YouTube Content ID for it and steal the revenue. And it turns out one of the easiest ways to do this was on Repost by SoundCloud, because the company wasn't verifying that it was the actual artist uploading the song. Even though it's a violation of their terms of service to upload something that's not yours, people were getting away with it. And SoundCloud wasn't doing anything about it. So it was a big problem with SoundCloud and also just YouTube Content ID and the way that system works. So this is the main reason that Repost by SoundCloud and Repost Network gained such a bad reputation. And this is why I think that they chose to rebrand. And I understand why. Like, if there's a noticeable loophole that people are exploiting that's damaging and hurting the artists, like, you got to do something about that. And I don't know if SoundCloud has fixed this issue since I learned about it. I hope they have. Also, the co-founder of Repost Network, who later became the vice president of Repost by SoundCloud, resigned from SoundCloud in August 2022. So I think there's just less and less reason to keep the Repost name associated with SoundCloud. I think SoundCloud is really trying to distance themselves from Repost Network and everything that's associated with it. It makes sense to me because people recognize SoundCloud. They know the name SoundCloud, and Repost is like, what is that? It's just another name. So the name SoundCloud for Artists sounds a lot like Spotify for Artists, which you might be familiar with if you release music on Spotify. The announcement for SoundCloud for Artists was actually by Tracy Chan, who's SoundCloud's senior vice president of creator and the former head of music at Twitch. Before joining Twitch, he was the director of product management at Spotify, and he was responsible for Spotify for Artists. So it makes sense that he chose a very similar name. So what has changed in this rebranding? Not a whole lot. They did change the name of the plans from SoundCloud Basic to Next. Repost is now Next Plus, and Pro Unlimited is now Next Pro. And Next, the free account, is really, you make a SoundCloud account and you automatically have this. And it's 3 hours of track uploads, you can share tracks, and you can post. And it's very basic, just posting on SoundCloud. Next Plus is what I use, and it's $2.50 a month. It allows you to distribute your music on all the different platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, everywhere. It comes with YouTube Content ID, you can split royalties with other collaborators, you can see analytics for your tracks, but SoundCloud does take 20% of all your royalties. Next Pro is $8 a month, and it's really just features for SoundCloud. It doesn't give you anything additional for distributing music to other services like Spotify and all those places. It lets you upload unlimited tracks on SoundCloud, get custom profile control, track management, advanced fan insights, and some other things. Unless you really care about your music on SoundCloud itself, I'd recommend doing just Next Plus and not Next Pro. So here is the dashboard. It's pretty much exactly the same. They cleaned it up a little, and it looks a little bit nicer now. You can see some stats on your streams and different places where people stream. You can also see your revenue. I got $4.91. All right. Your top tracks on SoundCloud. Then you have the releases tab, and that just shows you all of your releases. The SoundCloud tab lets you choose to monetize your tracks on SoundCloud. You have the YouTube Content ID. You have earnings, which you can get more in depth with where all your royalties are coming from. You see like how I got 2 streams on this track and it's less than 0.01 cents on Spotify. Thanks, Spotify. There's a promotion tab, which I haven't used, but you can pitch your song to places even though it's not guaranteed placement. And then there's the insights page, which is just for SoundCloud. It's not for Spotify or any of the other places. So you can just see your plays, you can see your top listeners, which is kind of interesting, it's kind of cool. So maybe you can engage with your top fans, maybe give them free merch or give them like a VIP pass to your show or something. You can see top locations and all this stuff. But so you notice that this is like blurred out. So I can see the top listener, but I can't see all the other ones. It's because this is behind the paywall of Next Pro. So they want you to pay $8 a month so you can get all these features specifically for SoundCloud. None of this is relevant if you don't care about SoundCloud. This is just for SoundCloud, not Spotify, not Apple Music, none of the other things. Then you have the benefits tab, which is just like some free trials to places and little discounts and things. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Like the platform itself, the dashboard, you have your little notifications up here, like when you got paid or if a track was approved for distribution. And to distribute a track, you just click right here, distribute a track, and you upload your file. You fill in the details. You can choose your partners, which right now they do not allow VK because it is Russian. You can see the little Russian flag. And then Yandex, it's also Russian. I imagine this is because of the war. But they have a good amount of stores. You know, you have all the big ones, Apple Music, Spotify, and you also have some international ones like Tencent and Angami. And so you get some exposure to the whole world, which is cool. And it does have TikTok, which I think is very essential to have your music on there right now. After that, you go to profile mapping, and that just connects it to your Spotify profile or your Apple Music profile. You can do split pay to split tracks with other people. They do need their own SoundCloud account for this to work, but it does work very well. And then you just review everything. Obviously, I haven't put anything in, so it's not gonna work. And then you just click submit, and then you can post your track. And every time you upload a track, it says in their terms of service that you enter into a 1-year contract with them. So they gain exclusive rights to distribute your music. They don't gain rights to your music, you own that. But when you upload through them, you are giving them exclusive rights to distribute your music on this platform. But you also have the freedom to upload one of your songs on SoundCloud for Artists and then another one on Distrokid or CD Baby or somewhere else, as long as it's not the same song. And this contract automatically renews every year, but if you notify them within 60 days of that renewal period, which would be the date that you uploaded the track to them, you can tell them to cancel it, and then you could get off their service and migrate your songs to somewhere else if you want to have maybe like 100% of your royalties, because that's probably one big downside of SoundCloud for Artists is they take 20% of your royalties, or if you just want some other features or just something else. I've been using SoundCloud for Artists for almost 2 years now. I started using it back when it was Repost by SoundCloud, and I've actually had a pretty good experience with the platform. They deliver my releases to stores in a timely manner. Royalties are paid every month, even though they take 20%, and everything has worked out pretty good. The main reason I chose to use them is because you get unlimited uploads with unlimited artists. I don't think SoundCloud for Artists is the best music distributor by any means. I think there's problems with all the music distributors. And for the most part, I actually really don't like music distribution platforms. I think the model of making you pay every month is annoying. Like, if I stop paying for whatever reason, they're just gonna take all my music down. I don't like that. So if I didn't use SoundCloud for Artists, I would probably go with CD Baby because it's a one-time upload fee, and your music should be on the platform forever unless the company goes bankrupt or something. So that's my take on SoundCloud for Artists. I really hope with this rebranding that they put more resources into the platform and they keep developing it and making it better for the artists. But it's hard to know if these big companies really have the interest of the artist in mind, because they're ultimately just trying to make a lot of money. Like Spotify, they say they care about the artist, but they pay them almost nothing for royalties. But there's not very many alternatives to these big companies. Like, we could put our music on Bandcamp, and that's a better way to directly support artists. Or we could just start making CDs again. But it's kind of like social media too. Like, we use these platforms like TikTok and YouTube, knowing that these companies are taking our information and our data, but we still use them because it's what we have. This is our way that we connect with each other. So I think it's the same thing with music distribution. Like, we use these companies because it's what we have and it's our way of sharing and connecting. I choose to look at the good that it provides. Like, it's cool that we can listen to so much music and connect with so many people. So I think that's what matters. But most importantly, keep making music, enjoy the process, release it out into the world, because there's people that need to hear it, and create every day.